Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're gearing up for your GCSE biology exams, or honestly, if you just want a really fast-paced, super focused look at exactly how our body manages waste, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to explore this absolute biological marvel that just works tirelessly behind the scenes, your body's ultimate filtration plant.
Okay, think about this for a second. Every single day, your body pumps roughly 150 quarts of blood through a very specific set of organs, just to clean it. Guys, that's literally enough liquid to fill an entire standard-sized bathtub. And the crazy part? It happens automatically, every single day, without you even having to think about it. The organs doing all this heavy lifting? Yep, your kidneys.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. First, meet your kidneys. Then, the nephron filtration plant. Third, 3 steps to urine. Fourth, testing kidney function. And finally, number 5, protecting your kidneys. Let's get to it. Section 1. Meet your kidneys, the body's water treatment plants. Now, you have 2 of these bean-shaped organs, each about the size of your fist. They sit right there, just below your rib cage, one on each side of your spine. Now, we usually just think of them as the center of the urinary tract, right? Getting rid of extra water and waste to make urine, or keeping salt and mineral levels perfectly balanced. But actually, their job is so much bigger than that. And pay attention here, because these next 3 functions are exactly where students tend to lose marks on their exams. Kidneys are absolutely crucial hormone factories. They produce erythropoietin, or EPO, which is what stimulates your bone marrow to make red blood cells. They also produce renin, which controls your blood pressure. And get this, they even activate vitamin D to keep your bones healthy. Pretty amazing, right? Moving on to Section 2, the nephron filtration plant. Zooming in to the microscopic level. So you might be wondering, how do 2 little fist-sized organs manage all of that? Well, to understand that, we have to shrink down and look at the microscopic structures inside. Inside every single kidney, there are over 1 million tiny independent filtering units. They're called nephrons. So that's over 2 million across both of your kidneys. Each one of these nephrons is a microscopic marvel all on its own. It contains this tiny little blood filter called a glomerulus, which is attached to a highly complex tube known as a renal tubule.
Section 3. 3 steps to urine, the journey of blood. All right, so we're going to track the exact journey of a drop of blood as it gets processed by one of these nephrons. Listen closely, because if you take away just one thing for your exams, make it this part right here. Try to think of the nephron as a super high-tech sorting facility, and it operates in 3 distinct shifts. Step 1 is glomerular filtration. Basically, blood rushes into that glomerulus we just talked about, and blood pressure literally forces water and small solutes out of the capillaries and right into the nephron's capsule. Okay, step 2 is reabsorption. See, the body just pushed a whole lot of stuff out, but it really needs to keep the good stuff. So essential nutrients like glucose, amino acids, and water, they all get moved back into your bloodstream. And finally, step 3 is secretion. Blood vessels dump whatever remaining waste is left, like hydrogen ions, straight into the renal tubule. And whatever is left at the end of that whole process, that is urine.
Now, absolutely crucial here is understanding exactly how that very first step, filtration, works. The glomerulus acts basically just like a microscopic security gate. It easily lets water, glucose, and small solutes pass right on through, but it forcefully blocks red blood cells and large proteins, making sure they stay safely inside your bloodstream where they belong. If that security gate is healthy, there is absolutely no way those large items make it into the tubule.
So by the time that fluid actually reaches your bladder, it's highly refined. Normal urine is about 95% water. That remaining 5%? That's the concentrated waste your body desperately needed to clear out. We're talking about things like urea, which was just a byproduct of your body digesting proteins, and creatine, which is a waste product from totally normal muscle wear and tear. Oh, and uric acid is in there too.
All right, Section 4, testing kidney function, the clinical side. Okay, so we know how the biology works, but how do doctors actually test if these microscopic filters are doing their job in the real world? Let's take a look. The absolute gold standard for testing kidney function is something called the eGFR, or estimated glomerular filtration rate. Now, remember that muscle waste product, creatinine, we mentioned just a minute ago? Well, because it's produced at a really steady rate and is only removed by the kidneys, doctors can actually measure the level of creatinine in your blood. Makes sense, right? If your kidney filters are failing, they won't be able to clear that creatinine out, and the levels in your blood will start to rise.
So, doctors take that number, run it through a specific formula that accounts for your age, gender, and ethnicity, and they can estimate exactly how many milliliters of fluid your kidneys are filtering every single minute. And just for context, a healthy rate is usually over 90. But here's the thing. Doctors don't just look at the blood, they look at the urine too. Remember those security gates in the glomerulus? Well, if they become damaged by things like high blood pressure or diabetes, those gates actually start to leak. Albumin is a specific type of protein normally found in your blood. Finding albumin in the urine is the earliest indicator of glomerular disease. It basically serves as a huge warning sign that the nephrons are under stress, usually way before that eGFR blood test even shows a drop in overall function.
Okay, final section. Section 5, protecting your kidneys, real-world applications. Now that we've got a handle on the intricate biology and how we test for it, let's bring this explainer home. How do our everyday lifestyle choices actually impact these vital organs?
Simply put, your diet directly dictates the workloads you place on your kidneys, which is exactly why the NHS outlines specific dietary advice for kidney health. First up, salt. It's a massive factor. High salt intake drives up your blood pressure, which literally physically damages those super delicate, tiny blood vessels inside the glomerulus. So the advice there is to strictly monitor hidden salts, especially in processed foods and crisps. Next is protein. Look, when your body breaks down meat and dairy, it creates urea. Eating massive, beyond normal healthy portions, that simply forces your kidneys to work overtime. And finally, potassium. A completely healthy kidney regulates potassium easily. But if kidney function drops, potassium from totally everyday foods like bananas and potatoes can actually dangerously build up in the blood. So protecting your kidneys really just comes down to managing the raw materials you're putting into your body.
We started this explainer with a pretty mind-boggling fact. And you know what? It definitely bears repeating. Every single day, your kidneys filter 150 quarts of blood. They regulate your blood pressure, they balance your minerals, they help build your bones, and they are constantly, tirelessly sorting the good from the bad on a microscopic level. Understanding this incredible process isn't just the key to acing those biology GCSEs, it's honestly the key to understanding your own long-term health. So as you go about the rest of your day, think about the immense workload happening right there, just below your ribs. How are you going to protect your ultimate filtration system? Thanks so much for joining me on The Explainer today, and keep that curiosity going.